What up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today's video is part 2 of my story. The laundry in the back. It's laundry day. You guys already know how that is. My kids are outside playing. It's a hot day. So just bear with me. So the response I got back from part 1 was amazing. When I tell you the love and support that you gave me off of part 1 video was mind-blowing. How many stories, how many people I connected with, how many people I touched and reached out to. Mind-blowing how strong we are as women to come over and get over a lot of things that we've been through. So just know that I appreciate you guys and your story with me as well. It really touched my heart and I love you guys for it. All right, so with part 1, we left off at my uncle coming outside the house with his shotgun. Where we lived, we were allowed to carry guns. We were considered like a farm area. And he wasn't going, well, I don't know if he was going to, but it was to show him that I'm protected, that no matter what, he just needs to leave us alone. So he ended up leaving, and the next couple days, I don't remember exactly how long, a week, a couple days, I don't know. He ended up going to prison. So he ended up going to prison shortly after that, and I did not hear from him for years. I think my son was about 7 when we heard from him or we had any type of communication. But let me just update you on that. As of today, right now, my son and his dad have their own relationship. He has his own values and views with his father. Me and his father have came to a mutual understanding. He has already said his sorries and all that amending between us. I have learned to forgive and move on now that I'm way older as well. But I forgive him and I do respect him as the father of my son and somebody that I once loved. Even though we have been through our share of bad situations, he's still human. And we did have that connection one time in our life. I do not wish nothing bad upon him. I wish for nothing but good upon him because I would love for him and my son to have that relationship. But as of right now, I stay out of it. We're good. Him and my son have their own thing going on and I kind of just roll with it. A middleman, I want my son to get his own perspective of his dad and build his own relationship, and me not be that type of mom that talks down about her father, the father of her kids. So I just don't deal with it. Moving on to part 2. Now, let me tell you guys. I did learn from my first relationship. I learned a lot. I learned that drugs affect people very, very, very much. That if you're with somebody that's on drugs, they are never going to treat you or love you the way you deserve because you're not first in their life. You are second. And I've learned that I will never deal with anybody that is ever on drugs again. Now I am 15, have a son, out of an abusive relationship, heartbroken, not knowing what to do with my life, and I come across a guy that is giving me attention. it's not too long after that I've left Isaiah's dad and got with my next boyfriend. I should have waited a very long time, which I didn't, because at that age, you live and you learn. So I end up speaking to this guy. Isaiah's a couple months old, and we end up getting really close. He ends up being really good to me, really good to Isaiah, where things are going so well. And I'm thinking in my mind, oh my God, it can happen. You can find Prince Charming that can love you and your child at the same time. And everything's going good for the first couple months. I want to say 6, 7, 8 months. And then I find out I'm pregnant again. I haven't been with him long enough to even go through hard times to know what it's like. But being young, wanting to be loved, wanting to have that family, not wanting to be embarrassed about being a single mom, which is stupid to think. Stupid. If you're a single mom, power to you. So I jump into another relationship, get pregnant, and when I tell you, timing, age, responsibility, everything takes a huge toll on relationships. Everything has a factor. So thinking about it, me being 16 with a child from somebody else, having to deal with the stress of being young and taking care of a kid, trying to get over all your hurdles of your hurt that you've already been through, being depressed, not knowing you're depressed, but you're depressed, not having the right vision for yourself can affect a relationship 100%. His family is so welcoming, so loving. They did nothing but love on Isaiah like no tomorrow. They took Isaiah in with open arms. Like, when I tell you this family loved Isaiah, I've never seen somebody love kids that, or love a kid as much as they did without it being theirs. And that was so heartwarming for me, because I knew at the end of the day, even if they didn't accept me, they accepted me because they accepted my son. And that alone can sell somebody. Here I am. Now I'm trying to figure out, how am I going to pay for things? How are we going to pay for things? How are we going to get by? Are we going to, you know, live with his parents forever? I'm about to have another baby. We're still in school. So at this time I decided I wanted to go to beauty school, and he was supportive of it. It wasn't a bad thing. I went to beauty school and he was trying to finish up high school. And then things got a little rocky because he started to cheat on me. And now comes the whole insecurities. Why did you cheat on me? What did I do wrong? Was I not good enough? Do I not look good enough? You know, what is it? And to be honest, I don't think that he didn't love me. And it's not that he didn't want to be with me. I just feel like we were just way too young. Way too young. Way too young, way too stressed, way too, like, it's just bad. It just, things happen. We were arguing all the time because I was stressed about money and how we were going to get by and all this stuff. And it just, stress got to us. So as things started to unfold, now it got to where I don't trust him. I don't want him to go nowhere. I don't want him to be with nobody. I'm constantly like, who are you talking to? It was just that one of those type of relationships you don't want to be in. And because he had cheated on me, he had a guilty conscience. So now I don't trust him and he doesn't trust me. It went back and forth to now I can't go nowhere. He doesn't want me to go nowhere. He doesn't want me to do anything. And it kind of felt like deja vu. I wasn't allowed to go to my friend's house. Wasn't allowed to go to family's houses. I wasn't allowed to do nothing because he was so paranoid that I was doing stuff or just giving attention to somebody else. And it was weird because I was just in a relationship like that. But the relationship I was in, the guy was on drugs, so he was paranoid. This relationship I'm in at the moment, he wasn't on drugs. He didn't do drugs. It was now the paranoia of a guilty conscience. And I'm like, okay, now the battle comes back to, well, now I'm about to have a baby. Maybe if I just do all the things he wants, don't go out with my friends, don't see my family as much, don't go anywhere, just focus on us as a family, he'll get over it, or he'll start to trust me again and things will get better. Worst decision of my life. To cut everybody out of your life for a man, don't do it. Do not, because guess what? You're gonna need those people someday. You're gonna need your family. You're gonna want your friends. You're going to get so depressed because there is nobody there. And they are going to feel some type of way about you because you chose this man over somebody that truly cared about you. A friendship, a family. It becomes a really ugly cycle. So let me just tell you, if you're in a relationship with a man that doesn't want you to see your family, doesn't want you to see your friends for no reason, they're not worth it. They're so not worth it. That is a control situation. If they try to manipulate you into telling you your friends aren't your friends, if they try to manipulate you into telling you that they're not good friends to you, why do you even have them? Like, look what they do to you. They use you, or they're sluts, or they cheat on their man all the time, and they do this. If he starts to like try to convince you that your friends are not good friends, and let me tell you, it's not just guys either. If you're a guy out there watching and you have a girlfriend that does this, red flag. Big time. There's a reason. There's a reason why people that you bring into your life don't want you to have friends. Believe me, there's a motive behind it. As much as they try to give you the world, let me tell you, he didn't want me to have friends. He didn't want me to have family, so he would buy me everything I wanted, take me everywhere I wanted to go, give me everything I wanted. Try to compensate for me not having that urge to want to have my friends. And then when it got to an argument where I'm like, I just want to go see my family, it gets back to me like, why? I give you everything you want. You're still not happy? Now it becomes a mindfuck game. Like, I give you everything you want. You still want to leave? And then it's like, that's not it. And now you're fighting over something really stupid. Like, really? We're gonna have this argument? So, heads up, if that sounds like your relationship, just leave. It's not worth it. Not worth it. Now it got to the point where I'm done. I'm fed up. I'm not living a life like this. I want to see my family. I want to go to my friends. I want to do things. I'm 17, 16 years old. No, I want to go out. I want to enjoy life. And then things start to get violent because now it's a battle. Now it's a battle of not obeying the person I'm supposed to be with. And it got really confusing to me when I would get punched in the face because he found out I was talking on the phone to a friend. Like, if I have to hide from you that I was just talking on the phone to a friend and then I get beat because of it, it gets weird. Like, now I have to hide the littlest things from you. Talking on the phone? Why should I ever have to hide that? I should never have to hide anything. I should never have to be scared to tell you anything. But yeah, it got to that point. Now, it got to the point if I didn't do or say or act the way he wanted me to, it got violent. And it got to the point where I'm like, how did this happen again? How did this happen again? How did I get with another person that feels that they can just control my every move? And then it got to the point where like, maybe it is me. Maybe it is me. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I was so embarrassed to go home again because I'm like, again? How do I tell my family I got myself into the situation again? How do you do that? So one day I decided I'm done. I can't do it no more. I can't. And I called up my aunt and I told my aunt, and she said, okay, come over here. Find a way to get over here. I said, okay. So I went to my aunt's house and I told him I was going to go do laundry because we didn't have laundry. And he said, okay, I'll drop you off and I'll pick you up because I wasn't allowed to take the car by myself. So he drops me off and he tells me, okay, at this time, I'm going to pick you up. So, all right, fine. So my aunt says, well, you're just not going to go back. And I'm like, but I'm scared, you know. And she's like, I'm not scared. I have Isaiah with me. I don't have Biscuit. Biscuit is with his dad. He kept him. I always took Isaiah and he always took Biscuit, which is my second son. And let me just say this now off the bat. He was a great father. Like a great father. We had our issues as a couple, but for him to be a father, hands down, I cannot complain. He did everything. He loved to be a father. He enjoyed it. It was his world. Hands down. That day he came back to pick me up. And